James Harrison held the hands of his 6-year-old twin daughters as he walked into the neighborhood pizza place in Silver Lake, wearing a faded polo shirt and worn sneakers. He looked nothing like the CEO of Harrison Tech, who graced the covers of magazines like Forbes or Wired. His daughters, Chloe and Emma, walked beside him, curious about the simple place he had chosen. "Daddy, where's the lady?" Chloe asked, fiddling with the ribbon in her hair. "She's not coming, Princess," James murmured, recalling the last message he received as they were almost there. "I don't have patience for a broke man with 2 kids. Good luck with that." It was the 3rd cancelled date in 2 months. Since his wife passed away in a car accident, James discovered that being a millionaire widower attracted gold diggers, but being a single dad quickly scared them away. That night, he decided to try something different. He created a fake profile, posing as a salesman, driving a borrowed old car. He was about to leave when a blonde woman rushed in, looking at her phone. She wore a simple blouse and carried a fabric tote bag with books spilling out. "Hi, sorry, I'm late. The bus broke down," she said, sitting down at the table without ceremony. "I'm Sarah." James blinked, confused. This wasn't the woman from the app. "You set a table by the window and a polo shirt, right?" "You were the only one I found," Sarah continued, smiling at the girls. "Hi, cuties. What are your names?" Chloe replied shyly. "Chloe." "Emma," said the other, more suspicious. James should have corrected the mistake, but something about Sarah made him hesitate. She showed neither surprise nor irritation that he had brought his daughters. "Do you like to draw?" she asked, pulling a notepad from her bag. Within minutes, the girls were engrossed in drawing while chatting animatedly with this stranger who seemed genuinely interested in their little stories about school and cartoons. The order came, 2 individual pizzas for the kids, a large pepperoni to share. Sarah explained that she worked at the local public library, that she loved her job despite the low pay, and that she preferred nights at home reading over going out to clubs. "And you, what do you do?" she asked. "Work in tech," James replied. "Technically true." "Cool, that must be challenging." She didn't ask about his salary, his car, or where he lived. Instead, she wanted to know if he cooked for the girls, if they missed their mum, how he managed to balance work and fatherhood. When the bill arrived, James reached into his pocket and realized he had forgotten his wallet in his real car, which was at home. He pulled out his cell phone, but remembered that, for corporate security reasons, he didn't have banking apps installed on his personal device. His face paled. Sarah noticed his expression and, without drama, pulled out her card. "Relax, I'll pay," she said, swiping the card through the machine. "Next month, you can take me somewhere nice." "You didn't have to," he mumbled, surprised. "I wanted to. Besides," she smiled, wiping tomato sauce from Emma's mouth, "it was the best date I've had in years." In the following days, James couldn't stop thinking about her. He found out that Sarah really did work at the library, just as she'd mentioned. On Saturday, he took the girls there. She was reading a children's story to a group of kids, doing different voices for each character. The twins ran to join the group, and Sarah smiled when she saw them. "What a nice surprise," she said after the children dispersed. "You weren't who I was supposed to meet that night," James admitted. "I figured, but I didn't care. Why did you stay?" Sarah looked at the girls who were flipping through children's books on colorful beanbags. "Because I saw a dad trying to do his best for his daughters. I saw someone real." James swallowed hard. My name is James Harrison. I own a tech company. Actually, a big company, a very big one. Her eyes widened slightly. Harrison Tech, the one in Beverly Hills. He nodded, expecting her to change her attitude, to suddenly become interested, calculating. So what? She asked, shrugging. Does that change the way you look at your daughters? Does it change the fact that you panicked when you couldn't pay the bill? No, he replied, surprised. Then, it doesn't change anything for me, either. Their subsequent dates were simple. Park visits on weekends, dinners at home, Sarah helping with homework. She remained the same person, attentive to the children, interested in the father he was, not the businessman. Then came the photo. A paparazzi caught the four of them leaving a bookstore. The image went viral with the headline, "Billionaire CEO has new mystery girlfriend." Within hours, reporters discovered who Sarah was, where she worked, where she lived. The headlines were cruel. Poor librarian catches billionaire. From public servant to socialite. The perfect scheme. Harrison falls for disguised gold digger. They fabricated stories that she had planned the encounter, that she was a calculating opportunist. They published a photo of her humble apartment with the caption, "Before the fortune." The library received calls from journalists and protests. From indignant parents. What kind of example is this woman setting for our children? They questioned. We don't want a gold digger reading stories to our little ones. Comments on social media demanded she be fired for lack of moral character. The director, pressured by important donors who threatened to cut funding if they kept a bad influence on staff, suggested she take an unpaid leave. Sarah pulled away. She wouldn't answer James's calls. When he showed up at her apartment door, she spoke through it. You need to protect your daughters. They don't deserve to grow up hearing that their dad's girlfriend is a gold digger. Sarah, please, they ask about you every day. I'm sorry, James, but I can't. 2 weeks passed in silence. The girls drew pictures for Sarah and asked when she would come back. James tried to explain that sometimes adults need time, but he saw the sadness in their little eyes. It was Emma who had the idea. Daddy, let's take her the drawings, like when Grandma was sad and we'd bring her flowers. On Saturday morning, the three climbed the stairs to Sarah's apartment building. James knocked softly on the door. Sarah, it's me. The girls want to see you. Silence, Auntie Sarah, Chloe shouted. We made drawings and cookies, Emma added. The door slowly opened. Sarah was in her pajamas, eyes red, hair disheveled. When she saw the girls holding a colorful envelope, she broke down in tears. I miss you so much, she sobbed, kneeling to hug them. Then why don't you come over for dinner anymore? Emma asked innocently. James approached. Because I didn't know how to protect you, Sarah. I increased security, changed the company's entire communication strategy. I'll never let that happen to you again. It's not about that, she murmured, still hugging the girls. Then what is it? It's about me being afraid I'm not enough. You have this huge life, and I'm just a librarian, now unemployed. You're the person who makes my daughters laugh, who makes me remember who I am beyond work. How is that not enough? Sarah looked at the girls who watched her with hope. Can I come back? She asked. Of course you can. The two said in unison. 6 months later, James created the Harrison Institute, funding community libraries in underprivileged areas of Los Angeles. Sarah directed the project, bringing books and telling stories to children who had never had access to them. One night, after the girls fell asleep, Sarah found James on the balcony, contemplating the illuminated city. "What are you thinking about?" she asked, snuggling next to him. "How everything changed because of the wrong table." "It wasn't the wrong table," she smiled. "It was the right table, at the right time, with the right people." James kissed her slowly. "Thank you for staying. Thank you for letting me stay." The lesson they learned echoed beyond them. True love doesn't need a stage or an audience. It grows in small gestures, in constant presence, in the daily choice to see the person beyond appearances. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that the best encounters in life happen when we least expect them, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories that show how small gestures can transform entire lives. Also, share it with anyone who needs a reminder that it's never too late to start over and that happiness might be closer than we imagine.